Hi guys, it is Cara theBubblelush, and I figure I look somewhat decent today. And Chris is at the store with Hannah, so I'm gonna go ahead and film another vlog. I hope you guys don't mind. You don't mind, right? Okay. Yeah, so Chris took Hannah to the store to Target to go get a belt for our vacuum cleaner because, yeah, it busted. I guess it like totally broke, and while Chris was vacuuming, and then all of a sudden the vacuum just started smoking, and it was really gross. And this was like 5 days ago, right? So my mom came up. My mom is like super like hands-on engineer, problem solving. Like she can take anything apart, figure out what's wrong, put it back together. Like really mechanically smart. And so I was like, hey mom, when Hannah's down for a nap, can you look at the vacuum cleaner and kind of see what's wrong? So it was pretty easy for her. She was like, duh, Carla, your belt is broken. So Chris went with Hannah to go get one so that way I would have some time alone. I could come down here, film some vlogs, and that way he would be able to vacuum up all of my bronzer that Hannah got into and busted up all over the hallway. Yay for buying new makeup! It's this new thing of hers. She feels like it is okay for her to get on her tippy toes, reach on top of the bathroom countertop, get into my makeup bag, take whatever she wants to out of there, and scratch her little fingers in it. And it's driving me nuts. And there's like no place I can put my makeup that's safe from her. And she's actually getting to the point where she knows how to unzip things. So I can't even like zip up my bag. It sucks. But the good thing is I get to go buy new makeup. That's awesome, right? So anyway, I wanted to make a TTC vlog because I really want to do a good job of chronicling this journey. And today is kind of a big day because I took the 5 pills of Provera. Let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Yeah, so I was double checking. It's been a really long week. Last night was my last pill of Provera. So I was taking them in the evening. It's just easier for me to remember that way. And so I guess tonight will be the first time that my body is expecting a pill but doesn't get it. So I'm expecting from now on my progesterone levels will drop off, and then that will signal my body that, you know, there's not an egg implanting, you know, pregnancy is not secreting progesterone, so she must not have conceived this cycle. It's time to start a period. So I guess it just depends on how long it takes my body to get that signal and get everything started. But I should start a period here in a couple days. And then that'll be cycle day 1. I had a question on my video. How do you know when is cycle day 1? Actually, I don't think it was on a video. I think it was on a Facebook message or something. But you know cycle day 1 because that is your first day of full flow. Not just like spotting, like first day of full flow. And my concern when I talked to my doctor about this was that like I was going to take the Provera, but it wouldn't stop me necessarily from bleeding, but it did. I don't know. I think the first day that I started taking it, well, and I also took the pill at night. That's probably what happened. On my weekends, I'm with Hannah, right? Like, so my mind is kind of on her, and I wasn't paying attention necessarily to my flow as much as I should have been. But I took the pill at night, and then the next day, I wasn't bleeding. And it was awesome. It's so awesome. This is what a normal person feels like. They don't walk around bleeding all day long. It's great. Whoever lives like this is so lucky. I will never take for granted another like blood-free day. It's great. So great. This is a very weird conversation. Anyway, so okay. So cycle day 1 is going to start soon, which means the first medicated cycle. It's kind of hard to say how many cycles I've had. How long have you been trying to conceive, Hannah? It sucks because if it was up to me, we would have been trying to conceive back in, maybe not in June, but probably August. We probably would have cheated a little bit and started in August, and we wanted to, but it's kind of messy. So we haven't really had a chance. So now Hannah is weaned and I'm able to take the medication, and so we're stoked. We're so stoked. So cycle day 3 through 7, I'll be taking 7.5 milligrams of Provera. I had a question on trying to conceive baby number 2, episode 7.5 video, which I uploaded 5 days ago. And it was, you know, I'm doing Provera, but my doctor said that 5 milligrams was the highest dosage. Not true. You can take 7.5 milligrams of Provera. That's what I do. Kind of what my RE explained to me was that like 50 milligrams of Clomid and 2.5 milligrams of Provera, so like 1 pill equals 1 pill. Oh, you hear my dogs? That must mean that Chris just pulled up. So if you take 1 pill of Clomid, then you kind of take 1 pill of Provera. So if you take 100 milligrams of Clomid, or 5 milligrams of Provera. Oh my gosh, they were like freaking out. Let me close the door and it'll quiet down a little bit. I've got to get rid of the squeaky chair. It's very loud. Anyways, so I take 7.5 milligrams of Provera and it works awesome. Apollo was really excited, I guess. I kind of responded one time to 150 milligrams of Clomid, but the follicle just didn't grow fast enough, and it wasn't mature until much later. They thought that I would probably just ovulate on my own, and I didn't. So I came in... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That's probably so annoying. Okay. So I came in probably on like cycle day 20. You would have to look back at the videos. I don't really know for sure. And got a trigger shot. And that was my first trigger shot. And I was so excited, but really the egg quality just wasn't there. Okay, Chris just came in the door. They're going to freak out a little bit more. And then Chris will tell them, shut up! Yeah. Okay, so long story short, you can take 7.5 milligrams of Provera. I mean, it is possible to. You have to talk to your doctor. Your doctor knows your situation. But it has happened in the universe because it has happened to me. So, I had another question. One of the questions that was pretty common was like, why did you bleed for so long? How did your doctor let you do that? Blah, 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 blah. Like I said, I mentioned it to her when I went in for my consultation, but I know my body. I'm very in tune with my body. I know what's going on. And I knew my progesterone level was lowered. It was suppressed because I was breastfeeding. I just knew that was going to happen. And for some people, that's just a side effect of breastfeeding. It decreases your progesterone level. That's what it did to me, and it suppressed it to the point where it was so low that I couldn't like maintain my endometrial lining. So I'm interested to see what this first mid-cycle scan shows my lining to be. I hope it's thick enough. That is one concern I have. So I did tell her about it, but I knew that, you know, her answer was going to be like, well, wean her, and then we can get you on some progesterone and make you stop bleeding. And I wasn't ready to wean yet, so I dealt with it because breastfeeding was more important to me. If you guys have a TTC question or a question about what my thoughts are on a procedure or a medication or something, feel free to leave it below and I'll try to answer it. I'm looking for another question I had. It was a really good question too. Dang. There was a lot of people encouraging, you know, like, be your own advocate, and that is definitely in this whole TTC game. Be your own advocate. I wasn't willing to work with an OBGYN that wouldn't monitor my cycles. It was something I did not feel comfortable with. And when people send me their stories about what their medicated cycles are like, and I know that they're not being monitored, it makes me really nervous, because if you don't know how well you're responding to the Clomid, that can be dangerous, and that can result in high order multiples. It can also mean that, you know, you're growing a follicle, but you're just not ovulating. So you really are responding to the medicine. Your body's just not getting the trigger to ovulate, and that's a completely different issue. And upping your dosage of Clomid probably isn't going to help with that. So I just think it is so important to be monitored, and requesting that is part of being your own advocate. And if your doctor says, well, I'm not going to do that, then you need to go to a fertility specialist. It's something I feel very passionate about. Clomid is not candy, it's not aspirin. Clomid is fertility medicine, and it needs to be respected, I think, in a way. Not in a way, it just needs to be respected. If you're taking it, it's something serious, and not only is your future baby's health at stake, your health is at stake. your time, your emotions, everything is on the line when you're going through fertility treatments. So if you are not getting the best care possible, you're kind of wasting your time, is what I feel like. That's my thoughts. Do you guys disagree with that? Do you think I'm being overly sensitive about it? It's okay if you are. Anyway, I'm super excited. I'm super excited about starting the Provera and getting this show on the road because I just want to start. I didn't want you know, my first cycle necessarily to be right around Christmas. I kind of wanted to have a few cycles to get warmed up if I needed a few cycles. The one cool thing about this, the timing that's going on right now, is that if I start my period within the next couple days, which I should. Provera always works for me, so I should start my period within the next couple days. Then most likely I will, when I respond to the medication and when I grow a beautiful follicle, I should have my IUI sometime between Christmas and New Year's, so that's awesome. And like I was saying in the previous video, that means that the due date, if I was impregnated right around Christmas, New Year's, then the due date would be like Hannah's birthday. So that's very cool. That's like a very neat thing. And I guess on the flip side of that, if this cycle doesn't work, then I will justify it by saying, well, that's okay, because baby number 2 needs its own story. And maybe it will be a President's Day baby. Maybe it will be a Valentine's Day baby. Maybe it will be born, you know, conceived on Valentine's Day. Maybe it will be born on Christmas, that kind of thing. So every baby has its own story, but the timing of this first cycle is kind of neat. I also am happy with the timing because, granted, it is going to kind of suck if I don't produce a follicle, and the timing of getting in for an ultrasound right around the holidays, that's, fingers crossed that works. But as long as I grow a decent follicle, or as long as I don't find out like the day before Christmas that it didn't work, it shouldn't really like screw up my holidays. It should make it kind of pretty festive. And again, if this cycle doesn't work, then I'll be able to kind of start fresh in January and start the year off right. So I'm at peace. I'm at peace with this timing. It's really good. So anyways, I'm just ranting, but I am excited to like be starting it because I feel like months and months ago I was like, I'm trying to conceive, watch out. And it's just kind of been, I've never been on a forced break before, so that was kind of rough. If you have any questions, or if you want, I guess, my input, you know, I have a lot of people that send me messages and they kind of tell me a couple paragraphs of their situation, and then, you know, what do you suggest, Carla? And I've noticed that a lot of those are kind of similar lately, which is totally fine. I mean, you guys don't know. They're private messages to me. Who knows what another person is sending? But the thing that is telling me is that if like 3 girls within a 2-day span have sent me pretty much the same story, that tells me that there are a lot more girls that probably are in a similar situation to you. And if I had just made a video about it, everyone's answer would have probably been, question would have been answered, right? So if you send me a message in the next coming couple weeks that is like, this is my, this is what I'm going through, this is the medication I've done, this is kind of what my doctor said, blah, 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 what do you think? Then what I'm probably going to do is give you like Marianne anonymity and make a video about it. And you know, no one's going to know that it's you, but most likely a lot of infertility stories are very similar. And I bet someone can learn something from your story. So send those in if you think that someone can learn from your story, or has a similar question that you would have, that kind of thing. Let's talk more. Let's have a more open conversation, because these TTC videos are going to get kind of boring if I say, yep, it worked. Nope, it didn't. And I want to talk to you more. So, all right. Bye, guys.